Hi, I got the Home Designer Suite 2016 open, and I'm going to draw what I think you wanted to draw. I'm not going to worry about the wall types. And basically, it looks like you want a shed building over here on the left of the screen, and you want a carport over here. I'm not going to worry about the exact dimensions because you didn't give them anyway. I need an invisible wall for the carport. I guess if it's going to be a true carport, this would be invisible also. We'll just do it that way. We'll make this, break the wall off and make this wall here invisible. There it is. Okay. Now you can see the program with auto rebuild roofs on just puts a hip roof over everything. Okay. Not worried about the foundation. The software is just a mechanical device. You have to tell it everything you want it to do, or it doesn't do a flipping thing, except what it's programmed to do. So the first thing I want to do then is create a shed roof over here, which you've already gotten that figured out. Yeah, you want a shed roof there. So a shed roof starts with, we'll tell the pitch in this wall on the roof tab, and pitch options, we'll change that to like 312. But that's only part of it. See, now there's a 312 here, but it's still a hip roof. And then we take these side walls and tell them to be gable walls. And you can see the software treats this entire thing as one room. Let's take a look at this so far. It probably looks goofy, but that's just a transitional stage of it. We got a shed roof to here, and then I told it this wall to be a gable, so it's kind of trying to create a gable on both of those ends. So we need to tell the third wall, or the fourth wall, to be a high shed gable. High shed gable wall. Hadn't done it. I hadn't made a change. I'm going to flat roof here. In Home Designer Pro or Chief Architect Premier, it'd be very easy to do. Let me think for a minute on how this might be done. Oh yeah, okay. I remember we're going to put an invisible wall. You have to think a little bit out of the box, or think how the software thinks. I'm going to put an invisible wall right there, and I'm going to separate this part of the building from the other part. See that invisible wall there? I'm just going to disconnect it. So that this is in effect a separate room. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the structure tab of this new carport room and turn the roof off. Leave the ceiling on, but turn the roof off. Well, it's kind of hard to do. That gets rid of the roof. Now this space here, I'm going to tell it to be a garage. That's normally what you would designate a carport, and just change the name to carport. It gives it a concrete floor and a separate roof system. So that's what the invisible wall was, to disconnect this space from that space. Now, as I said, it's a lot easier to do in Pro and Premiere than this, but I'm going to take these walls and open each one for the carport, and tell the pitch over this wall to be 0. And the pitch over this wall to be 0. It could be a 1/16 of an inch or something like that, just making it 0. And it's just a 0. And this invisible wall here needs to be set to 0 as well. Otherwise, you're going to get not a flat roof. Okay, the only anomalous part is this automatically generated wall here, but I'm going to open it and make it invisible. I can't make it not there at all in Suite. Now, I think this is about as close as I'm going to get. And this probably shouldn't be a solid wall. Let's change that to a railing wall. Oh, I got the room dialog box. Let me get this wall here. We'll change it from a solid wall to a, maybe we won't, not in Suite. Okay, I'm going to replace that then with the railing wall. Just going to draw over it with a railing wall. And then I have to do this wall doesn't know what it's supposed to do, so I have to tell it over here to have a 0 over it. And we'll change the rail style from the railing and so forth, which we don't need, to post to beam, and no rail. That's more carport like, I think. Okay. That's not exactly what I wanted. That's what I wanted, yeah. It's not perfect, but Suite is so inexpensive. It's not very able. And I think this is about as close as you're going to get to what you're looking to do with Suite. You'd be better served to spend a few $100 more and get Pro. Now, let me just show you. You just have a trial software, so I'm going to close this. And I'm going to open Home Designer Pro 2016 and do the same job. And of course, I've been using this software for 20 years, so it's going to take you a little bit longer because you have to learn how the tools work and all that sort of thing. Okay, now I'm going to use this default walls. We'll draw our rectangle. Here's the house, and here's the carport. So on this over here, I'm going to call that garage. There's quite a few similar things between the two softwares, but here in Pro, I can just click on that roof plane and delete it, which that basically turns auto roofs off. Now I'm going to delete this roof and delete this roof. I'm going to take this one and reshape it into a shed roof. Okay, and we'll have it overhang the carport a little bit, and we'll set the pitch at 412 from 812. I'll show you what we have. So, well, I'm going to save that. So there's our shed roof. I'm going to hit Shift F6 on the keyboard, Shift F6, so you can see this kind of develop. Now I'm going to draw a roof plane, a manual roof plane right over here on this screen. We'll draw its baseline right over there where it bears, and then stop it right about there. And of course it comes in at whatever the the pitch is set to. I'm going to line the edges up with our prior roof. And then open the dialog box of this roof plane. Oops, I missed it. Open the dialog box and set it to 0. Done. And then we can, of course, do what I did in the other one to make this a little bit more open. We'll put some wall breaks here. Open those two walls, make them invisible. And take this wall. See, it took me a lot of extra steps to do the same thing in Suite. I'm going to take this wall and make it a railing wall. Post to beam, no rail. See? Quite a bit easier, because you don't have to just rely on settings. You can just use the tools to manipulate the roofs and create them and edit them, where you can't do that in Suite. That's kind of my point. Okay, we got a wall missing here, but that's easy to do. We'll just go over here to the attic level and just draw a wall there. Sometimes a program it's really a cool program, but it's not. It's just a mechanical device. It's not. It doesn't think. You have to do certain things like that to fill in. Obviously, these posts aren't quite big enough. I'm going to open the dialog box on that wall and go to newels and balusters and make those things 5.5, like a 6x6 post. And we'll get rid of the middle post by going to newels and balusters and change the spacing to some large figures so there's just a post on each end, like that. So there's your shed roof building, and there's your carport. Okay, thanks for watching.